Imagine being confined within the walls of a notorious prison, alongside a legendary mogul. What if hip-hop's fearless, rebellious spirit now stands on the brink of a 24-year sentence?
Jury selection began today in L.A. A$AP Rocky turned down a final prosecution plea offer of 180 days in jail if he would plead guilty to one of his 2 felony counts. The Grammy-nominated rapper, whose real name is Rakim Mayers, is accused of firing a gun at a former friend outside a Hollywood hotel in 2021. He has pleaded not guilty, and his lawyer says Mayers is looking forward to clearing his name. If convicted, Mayers could get a maximum sentence of 24 years in prison. Opening statements could come as soon as tomorrow.
In today's explosive expose, we uncover how a judge's shocking decision could land A$AP Rocky in the same notorious facility where Diddy is confined, igniting a fierce debate that challenges the very core of celebrity justice.
I was a warden at the Metropolitan Detention Center from the spring of 2007 to the late fall of 2009. So I was there for a little over 2.5 years as warden. So I'm very familiar with the facility. What I would have expected her to experience when she entered the facility was, first of all, she would have come in full restraints, which would have included leg irons, a belly chain to a hat to attach handcuffs, and the handcuffs would be attached to the belly chain to immobilize her hands. She would be strip searched. She would be processed in terms of fingerprint, photographs. She would be asked a battery of questions relevant to security and safety. She would undergo a cursory medical exam, fill out a multitude of forms that the government requires, and then be assigned to a...
A$AP Rocky, born Rakim Mayers, strides into a Los Angeles courthouse with unwavering defiance and determination, flanked by his powerhouse partner, Rihanna, and his ever-supportive mother.
Do you think her presence there had any impact, especially when it comes to the jury?
No.
And he sips tea.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. You've got Rihanna. She's a big name in one way, shape, or form or another. Either as her name alone, being the partner of A$AP Rocky, or the fact that she is the mother of his children. I've seen, at least in some cases, not the high-profile cases, when you have the mother of the children in there, jurors do sometimes contemplate, hey, if I put this person in jail for X amount of years, what's that going to happen to the family? We also know during jury selection, at least one juror did contemplate that her presence may have an impact on the case. And I don't think it's coincidental, at least at this point, that she showed up specifically when the main complainant in the case was testifying. You could read the tea leaves how you want there, but it does seem to have some kind of impact as to why.
This is more than just another court appearance. It's a pivotal moment in a trial that could reshape the future of one of hip-hop's brightest stars. The charges? Felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm, stemming from a volatile altercation with his former friend and collaborator, A$AP Rocky, outside a swanky Hollywood hotel.
He absolutely did, because keep in mind here, we do not have the actual weapon. The shell casings that were allegedly picked up at the scene were picked up by the victim, Terrell, and handed into police. And then the videos that we see, we haven't seen them all. We've only seen a little sample of them. The question is, you do see a scuffle, but you don't exactly do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's a lot of wiggle room here for a possible acquittal.
His stakes couldn't be higher. A not guilty plea has set the stage for a dramatic courtroom showdown, where the consequences could be nothing short of life-altering.
For his fashion style and flair, hip-hop star A$AP Rocky is now facing years behind bars, potentially. His trial is what's trending in true crime this morning as the 36-year-old turned down a sweetheart deal on the eve of his jury selection. Rocky's real name is Rakim Mayers, and he declined a final offer from Los Angeles prosecutors to spend 180 days in jail. The agreement also included a 7-year suspended sentence and 3 years of probation, but he said no way. The Grammy-nominated rapper is accused of shooting a former friend of his near a Hollywood hotel back in 2021. And so now, if he's convicted, he's looking at a maximum sentence of 24 years in prison.
As the trial unfolds, gripping surveillance footage and intense courtroom testimonies piece together the events of that fateful night in November 2021. A$AP Rocky, whose real name is Terrell Efron, takes the stand to recount a story of fractured friendship and betrayal. According to his account, An unbreakable bond within the ASAP mob crumbled when a heated disagreement spiraled into violence. Witnesses recount the chaotic moment. Was it panic or defiance? They describe how ASAP Rocky allegedly brandished a handgun and fired a shot, grazing Relly's left hand. The prosecution paints a narrative of aggression and recklessness, reinforced by snippets of video capturing the tense instant when Rocky's hand moves toward his waistband. In a twist that defies expectations, Rocky's defense, led by attorney Joe Tacopina, argues that the so-called weapon was nothing more than a prop gun from a music video set, a harmless artifact incapable of causing real injury.
Two things. First of all, it's highly problematic for the prosecution that the alleged victim finds the evidence. So the police are there. Police are crime scene people. They're going around the crime scene. They don't find any shell casings, but it just so happens hours later that the alleged victim says, gee, look what I found. So that's highly problematic. Also, we don't know if they searched ASAP Rocky's house. Can the prosecution show that this guy even has guns? Has he ever had a 9mm? Does he have some other type of firearm? So I think that whole thing is problematic. Second thing, this whole called ambush with the new theory that he had a prop gun. The defense doesn't have to disclose their theory. Yes, they have to disclose witnesses, just like the prosecution, but this whole idea of ambush is nonsense. The defense doesn't have to say a word. The defense could have a theory one day and a second theory the next day. So this whole idea of ambush, yeah, it's good PR. It's something that you're going to give to the media, but it's nonsense.
And what ASAP's attorney has conceded to in opening arguments, he claims that ASAP was carrying a prop gun, that it was not a real gun, but a prop gun that he was using because he felt that he was under threat. There are surveillance videos from different angles. It shows a scuffle. It shows someone who looks like ASAP Rocky holding a gun behind his back. But again, he's claiming that's a prop gun. Keep in mind that when a search warrant was served on Rocky's home, they did find weapons. He does have concealed carry licenses. However, those weapons don't match the shell casings from the scene.
As the courtroom drama in Los Angeles reaches a fever pitch, a parallel narrative unfolds on the East Coast. In Brooklyn, the Metropolitan Detention Center has become infamous for its harsh realities and grim conditions, a place where even legendary figures are forced to face the weight of their past decisions.
Conditions of the prison are far from homey, notoriously described as, quote, dreadful, as one judge put it. Some on the bench have even moved away from sending nonviolent defendants there. In April, a group of detainees that prosecutors said were MS-13 gang members in court documents stabbed an inmate 44 times in an attack caught on camera. 2 shivs were recovered from the attack. You see them here. The victim survived. And in the last 3 years alone, 4 inmates have died by suicide. And violence is not the only issue. Accusations of medical neglect, staffing shortages, smuggling of drugs, some allegedly facilitated by employees.
Diddy, the multifaceted mogul known by many aliases, from Puffy to Love, now resides within these very walls, a stark reminder that power and privilege can collapse when confronted by the full force of the law.
The reports, and obviously Diddy is someone who's rich and famous and has lived a life of luxury for many years, and now he's in federal prison during the holidays. So this isn't someone who's a hardened criminal who has spent a lot of time in custody. So the fact that he's spending Christmas and New Year's and future holidays in prison is probably finally getting to him. So I'm not surprised that he cracked.
Once a symbol of untouchable success, Diddy now faces the harsh reality of life behind bars, grappling with charges ranging from sex trafficking by force to racketeering. With his trial looming on the horizon, his continued incarceration only fuels the intrigue, casting a long shadow over his once dominant empire.
This afternoon, he was scheduled to go before a judge here and have a hearing in one of the many civil cases that he's facing. But we just learned a short time ago that at the very last minute, that hearing naming Sean Diddy Combs in another legal issue with another legal issue in another civil suit was postponed at the very last minute with no future date scheduled and no explanation. This is just one of the many questions, growing number of questions in need of answers. Now, last Thursday at the MDC, where he is currently incarcerated. My sources tell me that Diddy was taken from MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, about 10 at night to a nearby hospital for an MRI on his knee. Skeptics thought there must have been a fight or he was attacked at the prison that's considered one of the most dangerous in America.